Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be working on the Farmall 504. This is a project that's been a long time in the making. Today we're just going to get the ball rolling. Nothing super crazy yet. We might get some tin off. It's already just sitting on there. It's been like that. Baling hay with this like this, it's kind of a pain. But anyways, in this video we'll drop fluids and get off some of the easy to take sheet metal. There's still a lot of work I need to do in the shop here in terms of organizing. So I don't have a lot of room to set my work pieces, but I am just itching to get the ball rolling on the 504 here, so let's get to working on it.
And I do realize it's kind of heretical that I'm wearing a John Deere shirt while doing this, but man, for 20 bucks at Costco, this thing is totally worth it and cozy. All right, so the 504 has been sitting in here for the past couple days. I just threw this cardboard underneath it about 5 hours ago, just because why not? I'll make working on it easier and cleaner, and it's already dripping oil on it. So yeah, noted. This is when we really go over this thing with the fine-tooth comb and see everything she needs. I'm gonna be honest though, I'm pretty much gonna do a full reseal on this engine. I don't know, maybe I'll miss the coolant side. I don't know, I think I'm gonna tear apart this engine for the most part. I might even fully rebuild it. Head gasket's obviously leaking. It's been leaking ever since I got it. It doesn't burn any coolant. It holds the coolant in. It just sweats a lot of horsepower, also known as motor oil, and it leaks a ton of hydraulic fluid right out the old Charlin power steering gizmo mabob right up here, right out the shaft seal. And I'm guessing that's because over the years, whenever you hop on the 504, you just go and you grab the steering wheel and you pull yourself right on up. Yeah, this thing is on her last legs, and it doesn't. It runs okay, but it needs a serious walk through. Nevertheless, the actual pedestals here on the front, wide front, they have been welded on. By no means are they not original units. They've definitely had some repairs over the years, and these ball joints on the ends, this is a Schwartz wide front loader, are shot. This side isn't as bad, but if you go to the other side, it has, ever since I bought it, just slightly rubbed the side of the tire. Not to the point where it shows cord, but there is a lot of play. I don't know if you could see that in the wheels. So she's gonna need some repair and paint and all of that goodness. Another thing she's gonna need, of course, is a full exhaust job, pretty much from top to bottom. I'm just gonna get a new header for it. The old China header here, cracked. I could repair on it, but again, I might just try and get a new header. Now I'm crossed if I should put a generator on this or not. Probably not going to. I wanna run the GM one-wire fire alternator here. It's been working pretty good. It does squeak a little bit, and it needs some fine-tuning, but didn't really have to do any modification when I put this thing on. It just pretty much bolted right in. Didn't need any spacers or anything, so it worked out pretty good. Some of the Pioneer couplings in the front here, they're leaking as well. Again, this tractor, head to toe, is gonna need a complete tear down. I want to finish it by next spring so it's ready for next baling season. And I think we could do this thing on a budget for the most part. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely going to get into the 4 figures, but I don't plan on breaking the bank on this thing whatsoever. The most expensive thing I'm probably going to spend on this tractor, like single part, is tires. So the tires on this side, this is a wrong size, but this is like a 13 by 36, and these need like 13 by 38s. Well, I had the right size over there, but it's completely worn. This one right here is new-ish, but it's the wrong size. As well as my fronts. This is undersized, and that's oversized. So it's gonna need new tires all around. It's gonna need the whole kit caboodle. But if there's one thing on this tractor that it needs more than anything else, I'd say it's probably the hydraulic pump. That might actually cost me a penny right there. So the hydraulic pump in this unit is worn. It's shot. It just doesn't want to work. It barely lifts up the hay bind head, and it struggled to lift the loader. This is a loader tractor, and as much as I don't want to put the loader back on it, because I really love using this thing without the loader, I think I am going to put the loader back on it, because unless I get another tractor with a loader on it, which might end up happening, but the thought of getting another tractor right now with a loader is just sounds stressful, one thing at a time. Famous last words, but yeah. So without further ado, let's just get into tearing into this thing. You know, you got to start from somewhere. If you don't know where to start from the beginning. Alrighty, first order of business. It's a good way to start off the new year. Today's December 29th? No, December 30th. Today's December 30th of 2025. And I can't think of what a better way to start off the new year than finally working on a tractor I've been meaning to work on for ages. It smells like it might leak a little gas too. That's okay. Oh, I can't think of a better sweater to get a bunch of oil on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, I should add. I have not changed the oil on this tractor. I changed it the day I got it, and then since then, I haven't changed the oil on it. I haven't put enough hours on it where I really feel the need to, but I was kind of underneath the mentality that my Lanta. I was gonna overhaul this tractor anyways, so I felt that changing the oil on it really wouldn't get me that far anyways. I've probably only put, I don't know how many hours on it. Probably overdue, but it's fine. Oh yeah. Any chunks coming out? Not yet. Yeah, the oil I ran in this is Shell Rotella T4 1540. Some guys swear by that, some don't. It's treated me good. I run that in all my cars, in trucks and whatnot. I mean, if it's a newer car, I'll run the right oil in it, but if it's a beater with 300,000+ miles like my Camry, she gets the 1540. Slows the leaking down a little bit. Whew, that's got a strong gas smell in there, but a lot of lubricity. I think we should just put it back in. It's fine. Oh, next up here, we'll crack loose the little drain dealio on the oil filter. If we can, with this giant old diamond wrench right here. Love this wrench, but don't know if she'll work. Oh. See, I could go and dig through the box and get the right size crescent wrench, but here at Dirt and Pavement, we don't make cents, we make dollars, so I ain't gonna take the time to figure that out. I'm just gonna struggle because that's what men do, is struggle. Come on. The amount of editing I'm gonna have to do for this video. There she goes. There she blows. Now this tractor hasn't ran for a few days, so for all I know, this could be all back drained and there could be no oil in here, but I better safe than sorry. I don't know. It's there. I want to bust it loose because working on old tractors is fun. Yep, nothing there. Perfect. I'm going to set this right here. You guys don't let me forget that. Next up, we'll pop off this oil filter. And this is a Case IH oil filter. I did pick it up from Case IH. Or is it a Wix? I think it's a Case IH oil filter. Oh, that was pretty loose. Now, I'm not going to get super deep in this video because I have nowhere to put loose parts. Like, I take off these wires and whatnot, but at the moment, my whole workbench is filled up and I don't have a real means of organization of where I'm going to put all my loose parts. So, for now, I'm just going to do the basic things like drop the fluids and basic inspections. Actually, next up here, we'll inspect the coolant and make sure we're not leaking any oil into the cooling system. Okay. Light this guy on up. Set her on the ground and okay. Case International Harvester. Yep, I did use a Case IH one. And I'm actually going to put this on for safekeeping, so when I start cleaning off this engine, I don't accidentally knock a bunch of debris down there in the oil passage. Yeah, there we have it. All right, well that is draining its oil right there. Let's hop on top of the tractor here and have a gander at the coolant. Oh, looks like that little nipple broke off the radiator there too. I might have to braze something on there. Oh, I'm surprised we can even see it. And actually, that's some healthy looking coolant. There's a little bit of junk in there, but not super worried about it. might actually try and save on that coolant. There we are. Already saving money with this build. Alrighty, next order of business. Let's get the hood popped off of this John. Alright. You just come right off, buddy. Oh, you're a little heavier there, man. Let's go to the other side. Radiator cap, I should have left that off. You know, I've owned this tractor for a couple years and I never realized the fuel tank actually extends way over the engine. I always thought it was just, you know, kind of like the H's and the M's were. It's right here. I never realized that it actually went right over the engine like that. That's kind of cool. Huh. Anyways, well, what's the next easy thing I could take off? Let's take off this air filter here. I don't know if this air filter was exactly airtight like it should have been, because I think I remember putting my hand over the intake and it wouldn't kill it. But I did put new Hytran in here and whatnot, so that hopefully filtered some of the air going in, but again, we're probably rebuilding this engine anyways. Deep down, I kind of like to do a diesel swap on it, but this little C153 gasser is a pretty loyal engine and I kind of want to keep it that way. Also, it costs money to do a diesel swap. Oh yeah. Well, that fluid's a little bit cleaner than I thought it'd be, but it's still dirty. Let me give you guys a gander here. So this was new fluid a couple years ago. Oh, as you could tell, it's kind of draining out. And I would expect it to be dirtier. It's not like this tractor is doing a lot of field work. It's doing a lot of baling, but it's not as dusty as a lot of people think it would be. So yeah, I still don't think this air cleaner was really doing its job too much, but I digress. We'll dump it in the waste oil barrel. Well, here we are underneath the tractor, and there's the drain right there for the rear differential and the transmission fluid housing. And unfortunately, I do not have the right size plug for that. I think it takes a 3/4 inch plug, and I do not have that. However, there is this plug up here, and this is like a 5/16 size, and I have no socket that will fit in there, but I do have this flathead screwdriver. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick that flathead in there, and then this 5/16 wrench, I'm just gonna twist and in hopes I can maybe crack that plug loose and drain at least most of the fluid out of the belly, but still need to get a special adapter to get this back guy off because I just can't get her off. Let's hope my genius idea works and I don't mess up this nice flathead screwdriver. I don't even think it's mine. I think it's my buddy's that he left here ages ago. No, it just wants to twist it out in that plug. Suppose I could hit it with a little bit of heat, but with the oil that's just soaked around this tractor, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. And also, I guess I'm not in a rush to really drop the Hytran. That can always be done another day, so I guess we won't do that for the fluids. Well, it's about time to wrap things up. I'll figure out the cooling system another time. I tried to figure out how to drain it and grab some Allen keys and whatnot, but they were stubborn. I just don't have the time to do it anymore, so I gotta run out of the shop soon here. Ah, there you go. I found my means of draining the coolant right there. Oh, whatever. Anyways, we're just gonna drop the gasoline because I'm about to head out of the shop. I don't want to breathe these gas fumes in, so we might as well just drop the gasoline and then walk away type deal. The fire's dying down. I'm not afraid of it, you know, igniting the fumes on fire or anything. So, get this off here. And is this line going to be long enough? No, it's not. All right. I'm going to have to find a pedestal or something to hold this fuel tank for me while this drains. I don't know how much gas is in the tank. There could be like 2 gallons or there could be 20. So, I guess we're going to find out.
Alrighty, I got you on the rolling cart now. Pop this on off. Shove this in here like so. And then we'll go open up the petcock and then have a gander in the tank and see how much fuel is in there. Opening up the petcock. Let that fuel flow. Oh yeah, definitely more on the 2 gallon side. She is pretty low, so I'm not that worried about overfilling that fuel tank when I walk away here. And one issue is that sediment bowl, that petcock, always clogs up with junk. And I think that's actually happening right now because, yeah, you see how that's just slowly dripping right now? We'll just let that slowly drain overnight, but yeah, another reason why I need to just take this tractor apart. Fuel tank needs cleaning. There's a little bit of rust/debris in there. Anyways, guys, thank you for clicking on the video. And thank you for watching my Farmall 504 restoration. This is my first tractor, and if it wasn't my first tractor, I'd just sell it, use the money, and get a newer, nicer 504. This is my first tractor, so she has a lot of sentimental value. We're going to give her the work she deserves. If you like this video, please hit a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that hype button on the bottom bar right there. It really helps us out. It's another cog in the algorithm that YouTube added, but whatever. We play their game, I got to play their game. No, they play my game. No, they don't play my game. I'm a slave to it. I digress. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for some more 504 content. Now that I got this in the shop, I'm going to just be pumping out content on this thing, and I look forward to it. It's going to be awesome. This is my first actual nut and bolt tractor restoration. I plan on splitting this tractor. I mean, it's not going to be like bare frame, take it in to get powder coated because I'm not rich, but she's going to get done right. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video, and you guys have a great rest of your day.